Hi, we are going to be picking up on Third Grade Angels, Chapter 12, Back to Bad. Raymond Venati spit. It happened after lunch at the swings. Raymond walked over to an empty swing, coughed up a big longer into his mouth, and dumped it right there in the middle of the swing seat. Wow, I thought, that's some litter I'm not picking up. I looked across the way. Mrs. Sims was staring and glaring. She saw the whole thing. I said to Raymond, "Why did you do that?" He shrugged. "I don't know." "Mrs. Sims saw you," I told him. He shrugged some more. "So?" "So?" I was shocked. "What about the halo? Don't you care?" He shook his head. "I'm tired of being good." 3 things happened after that. 1, a second grade girl sat on the swing, and after a minute she stood up. Her hand felt her butt. She screamed. 2, Mrs. Sims had a private talk with Raymond Venati in the hallway. 3, I suddenly started seeing other stuff. Everywhere I looked, kids were being bad and messy and rude. When Mrs. Sims had her back turned, Wilson Banner burped out loud on purpose. Dawn Olachek pulled a booger from her nose and stuck it under her seat. 4 kids had untied shoelaces. Even Judy Billings. She dropped a gum wrapper on the ground. I told my mother all of this after school. "Sounds like you got a bunch of regular hoodlums in there," she said. "What does it all mean, Mom?" I asked her. "Don't they even care about the halo anymore?" She tugged my earlobe. "What it means, Sudzer, is that they're just being normal 3rd graders. Maybe it means that you," and she tugged both ears, "are the only one trying to be a perfect angel." I think she was telling me I didn't have to worry anymore about winning the race because everybody else dropped out and that I was the only one left. Yes, I thought, that halo is mine. But my mother was wrong. Chapter 13, Chipmunky. Darren Tapp is still in the race. I sneaked a peek at his cursive. It's as perfect as mine, and I think that I saw Mrs. Sims whispering to him. I saw him holding a door for a girl, and he sits up perfectly straight in class. I tested him at recess. I stood next to him and I dropped a piece of paper on the ground when I was sure Mrs. Sims wasn't looking. He picked it up. There's only one thing that this can all mean. Darren Tapp wants that first halo too. I guess the big question is, does he want it as bad as I want it? I can feel his breath on the back of my neck. I'm running faster and faster. I volunteered to do the dishes at home. My father thought I was joking. He laughed. "We have a dishwasher." I tried to buy a box of dog biscuits with my allowance at the supermarket. "What's that for?" my mother asked. "It's for Mrs. Sims' dog," I told her. "Mr. Moto." "I thought you told me Mrs. Sims can't be bribed," she said. "Oh, she can't," I said. "But this isn't for her. It's for her dog." "Put it back," she said. Some people don't make being perfect easy, but I'm not giving up. When I see students heading for the water fountain, I rush ahead and I push the button for them. I hold the door for boys. I don't even think the word zipper nose anymore. It's not easy. As soon as I think I'm finally perfect, I think of something that I missed. And then there's another problem. People keep messing me up. Like the other day in school, I was doing the cursive letter P and I had to use the bathroom. But when I came back, I found a whole line of letters with an extra curl at the bottom, so they looked like B's. I looked over at Joey. He was doing his letters, but his face was getting red and blue from trying not to laugh. It took me 5 minutes to erase that extra line. The same day after school, I couldn't find my teddy bear, Winky. It's always sitting up against my pillow. I finally found it in my underwear drawer. Every day I find something else where it's not supposed to be. I know my sister is doing it. But until I get my halo, I'm afraid to fight back. So I headed for the tub. Mom found me in the suds. "Oh no," she said. "Chipmunky again." She was right. I've been in the tub almost every day lately. "I'm a nervous wreck," I told her. I don't know why that was funny, but she laughed. "Yes, I can see that." She sat on the edge of the tub. Don't you think maybe you're getting a little carried away? Maybe you're taking this angel business a little too far. I have to stay ahead of Darren Tapp, I said. He's waiting for me to make a mistake. She reached into the tub and tugged my earlobe with soapy fingers. Suds, by the end of the year, everybody will have a halo. It's okay not to be first. It's okay to be second or 10th or even last. It's okay not to be first. I tried to wrap my brain around those words. I couldn't. And then yesterday, 4 things happened. Chapter 14 is called Oh No. The first thing happened in the morning at recess. I saw a candy wrapper on the ground and I picked it up. Joey poked me. Why do you keep doing that? He asked. I told you before. I said, I want the first halo. But look, he said, and he pointed at the school and all around the playground. Mrs. Sims isn't even here. You're not even getting credit for it. I grinned. Yes, I am. He blinked. You are? I got closer and I whispered, she has spies. What? He boggled. Mrs. Sims can't be watching everywhere all the time, so she has spies. Her friends. His eyes darted around. How do you know that? My mom said. The boggle went away. He did more blinking, and then he was grinning. I mean, not just any grin. The grin was so big, it was almost scary. What's so funny? I said. Your mom, he said. What do you mean? He poked me. She was joking, you dude. There ain't no spies. Are you calling my mom a liar? I'm calling your mom a joker. He tossed a gummy bear at me. It bonked off my nose. There ain't no spies. There ain't no spies. Now it was my turn to boggle. The second thing happened in the afternoon. We were riding home on the bus. My sister sat behind me. She kept taking off her seatbelt and reaching over my seat and sticking her finger in my ear. And she knows that I can't stand that. It was getting harder and harder for me not to strike back. So I got off the bus early. Hey, she called, it's not our stop. I kept walking and I prayed she wouldn't follow me. She didn't. 2 other kids got off the bus with me, Heather first and Constantina Pappas. Heather said, this isn't your stop. I know, I said, and I started walking for home. But then I heard a scream, Buster! Buster! A little black and white dog came around the corner and had a leash, but there was no person on the other end of the leash. Then the person, a teenage girl, came around the corner chasing the dog and yelling, Buster! Buster! The dog was heading straight for me. It was almost close enough for me to grab the leash when it turned and started across the street. I went after it. I dove after the leash. I grabbed it. I felt the tug of the dog on the other end. I heard screaming, the teenage girl, but something else screaming too, even louder. Brakes. I was lying in the street. I looked up. The dog at the end of the leash was inches from the front fender of a car. Suddenly, the girl was picking me up along with the dog and wrapping us in hugs and tears, and a lady was coming out of the car saying, oh my God, oh my God. I can't even remember walking the rest of the way home. What I remember is the third thing. The third thing happened in my room, on my bed. I was still shaking so hard to make it to the tub. I closed my eyes. I took deep breaths. I finally started to calm down. And when my brain started to work again, this is the first thought that it sent to me. Hey man, you just did the best good deed ever. Slam dunk. That halo is yours. Then my brain sent me Joey's words. There ain't no spies. What if he was right? What if there were no spies reporting back to Mrs. Sims? What if I wasn't going to get credit? What if the best good deed ever was going to waste? The fourth thing started with my brain talking to itself. So don't let it go to waste. How do I do that? Make your own report. So that's what I did. With my best cursive, I wrote down what happened with that dog. I included everything. Buster, Buster, the brake screeching, oh my God, and I filled up the page. I folded it real neat, and I put it in an envelope, and I sealed the envelope, and I put the envelope in my backpack. When I got to school today, I put the envelope on Mrs. Sims' desk, and I couldn't believe what I saw. Another envelope was already sitting there. Oh no, I thought, Darren Tapp must have done a slam dunk good deed too, and wrote a report. and beat me to it. I was shell-shocked. I didn't raise my hand in class all day. I was more zombie than human by the time Mrs. Sims said, "Well, angels, tomorrow's the big day. One of you will be the first to get a halo." And we're going to stop there. The next chapter is called The Winner.